All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 19 of the Soulcast. Sorry, Caleb Tokarska is with me. We were talking about the magic of music, and I talk about this a lot with a lot of my guests because I tend to have more musical guests than anything, because that's kind of what I do. So I know a lot of musicians, and I don't know what your aspirations are for the music, but I always said that, me doing what I do, there's nothing that I can do except for seek out my audience, my niche audience, and sing with the people that allow me to sing with them and have a good time. And a lot of times I'll do voiceover work and stuff like that, and I just like using my voice, and it's so much fun to me sometimes. Like whenever something's done, I'll be like, damn, it's done already? Come on, let's do it 5 more times, So what are your aspirations? What do you want to do? Where you're going?
Well,
I mean, because session work sounds like it's right up your alley. I don't know if that's all you want to do, though.
No, there's that's what I like about where I'm going to be, because there's going to be a lot of opportunity for me to do a lot of different things. Mm-hmm. Like I can go play in the jazz club down the street.
You can do a commercial.
Do the singer-songwriter.
You can play
or go
live.
do session work. But I mean, what I'm studying in school is actually classical composition. So that's like writing for orchestra and writing for choirs,
right?
Which I really want to get into, because I could have that on the side, or really as my main thing, and basically I could be doing it out of my home, like technically, like not all the time, but
right.
And then still have going and playing in bands, or going to play by myself.
Well, that's also cool that you have Bella Fleck as an inspiration, because, how old are you now?
18.
So you have plenty of time to hone your skills in those areas, to where you can be a composer, a conductor. You can write a whole symphony if you want to. Yeah.
That's what I want.
And then you can, it'd be like fucking Caleb's Opus and shit.
Yeah, hold on. Actually,
oh yeah, Drinking Water 101.
That's right. When I was at this choir concert. It was actually down at what's the big church right by the bell, right next to the bell.
Oh, the Sacred Heart?
Yeah, no, not the Sacred. You know what I'm talking about, the Catholic church right next to the bell.
Yeah.
I forgot.
I don't know the name of it.
I don't want to say the wrong name.
Holy Trinity.
But that's what it is.
Yeah.
I was there, and I was in men's chorus at the time, which is just like, it's really hard to feel inspired. Some of the points singing in men's chorus, it was just like kind of brutal a little bit. But then there's the upper chorus, which is mixed, it's girl and boy. And I was in 9th grade, and I went to go see him, and they were singing this piece that my director wrote, and I knew that he had written this piece, and I was just sitting watching him and thinking about it the whole time. I'm like, man, he got to sit down at a piano and write that out, like totally bring forth music from nothing, and then give it to a group of 50 kids and work with them, and now he's performing it for other people. And I never thought about writing that kind of music in my life. And after they finished the song, it was like this really, I've never felt this kind of feeling before, just something like telling me, like, you have to do that. Mm-hmm. But my brain was just telling me, you have to figure out how to write. The inner voice spoke to you. That's right.
That's what's up, and that's good, too, because we need more of that. It seems like, that you only have a handful of people that really, really does that and really does it well. And then the rest of them are people that behind the scenes will never really be seen by massive amounts of people, but they're good as well. But it doesn't matter what level you're on if you're doing something like that. The satisfaction that can come from it that's soul enriching shit. That's not something that you'll never... It's not like you're going to forget about that moment, and then you're going to, those are those moments where you'll be like, that was that moment. That was one of those defining moments. It's funny you say that, too, because one of my favorite movies is Mr. Holland's Opus. Have you ever watched that movie? You're kidding me.
No.
You've got to watch that
What's it
shit.
called?
Mr. Holland's Opus.
All right.
And it's about this fucking guy who teaches music, loves music, and he aspired to be a musician. You know, he wanted to write on Broadway, you know.
Okay.
And ended up that he just was a school teacher. And he took the school teacher position out of pure necessity. He didn't want to do it. He didn't like it.
Yeah.
And then eventually he fell in love with it. So years and years passed, and he had wrote this, you know, huge sonata or whatever, and he never got to have it performed, you know, never got the opportunity to have it performed. So whenever they were ending the fucking, man, I can't tell you the whole story, man, but it's fucking crazy.
Right.
Mr. Holland's Opus, you got to look it up. It's got
I'll
Richard
check it
Dreyfuss in it, I believe. Yeah, Richard Dreyfuss. But anyway, he has a son that ends up being deaf, and it really affects him like hardcore because, you know, he loves music so much he wanted to share that with his son.
Yeah.
So at the end, there's a beautiful moment where he sings a John Lennon song, and he does the sign language and everything, which he struggled his whole life to learn the sign language because he didn't really want to do it because he was pissed that his son was deaf. It's a fucking crazy good movie. But the end is so good. You'll be fucking bawling. You'll be like, oh my God, that was so good. So that's really cool, man. And I'm looking forward to one of these days going to see a piece of that you wrote performed. Now, you said something earlier that really blows my mind, and that always blows my mind, is the fact that whenever you learn how to write music and you learn how to compose, you are doing it from nothing. Just like you said, you are producing something that not only is it something that you're producing from your brain from nothing, and if you were to say be someone like Mozart, who never had the opportunities for his music to be recorded, you're only able to see that piece performed in that moment. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that you can grab a hold of and put in your pocket, or, you know, grab a hold of and put it in your lockbox and it'll be there forever.
That's what I wonder about those guys like Mozart. I mean, it's like, I wonder if they had any idea that their music would be played like hundreds of years from now, like still, like all the time. Probably not,
dude. No.
I mean,
and then this is the thing. Also, I think about Robert Johnson and his 20 songs, and fucking, you know, I have Robert Johnson on my little iPod, right? And literally, you know, how crazy it would be to walk up to Robert Johnson and say, look, man, all your songs are on this little itty bitty flat fucking. He'd be like,
out.
no fucking way, dude. Jeez, I'm gonna die all over again. Oh, you know, but so, you know, and even if, because me and Kenny George and I, which was the episode last week, which isn't up yet. I'm sorry, guys, it's late. But Kenny George was talking about how the songs, when you're a singer-songwriter like I am, the songs over the years will change and grow and become different. I'll change a line here, I'll change the way I sing a word here, and all these things stick over time, and it's kind of like a growing child. You know, it's something you gave birth to and it grows. And I have a lot of different versions recorded of a lot of different songs of mine, and they're always constantly changing. So even if somebody was to get a recording of something I did and try to hold on to it, that's still that moment, because that song's going to change over time. And I think it's that way for every musician that isn't interpreting someone else's music, someone that is actually writing their own compositions.
And that's what I like so much about music with improv in it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, especially it's like, you know, when you go see me and Joel, you might see us play the same song or hear us play the same song, but it's going to be completely different. And he, you know, I don't know how much I've talked to you about the way he would teach it, but I mean, it was so strange because he's so disciplined about how he teaches music, but it's all for the end goal for you to just have no limits as a musician.
Right.
You know,
right.
so and some people like get confused by it and they say, well, improv music is not supposed to be like that.
Right.
Which is not true because you have to
have a foundation.
You have to have a
from.
foundation to work on. And I mean, the more you work at foundation, the more options you're going to have.
Absolutely.
When you improv.
Absolutely. That's why. That's like you know. I mean, Mozart said. He said the only reason to learn the rules is to be able to break them.
Right.
So you have to be able to learn your foundation and you know the like the platform or the canvas, you know. So if you're really good at making a real strong canvas, then you can put anything on top of it and you can make a beautiful work of art. And I think that's the beautiful thing about live music. I've read just recently that live music is the new thing because everybody has their opportunity to go to iTunes and they have every fucking piece of music that you could ever want at your fingertips, right? Well, it being inundated with all of that, basically, I believe, moments in time, right, that aren't truly alive. They're like a picture, right, of a live event. You have that stuff and you're looking for something different. You're looking for something real, you know? And I think that in our minds, organically, we're starting to be like, they're starting to seek out live bands again.
I hope
they don't want to hear DJs anymore. It's starting to be like,
I don't know,
we want to look
because,
for real bands.
Like, hanging out with kids my age, like, I mean, obviously, like my friends I hang out with, I mean, they love live music.
Right.
And, you know, but
I mean, I'm not saying there's not a certain breed.
Yeah, I just wonder where we're headed as far as that, because it seems like, oh yeah, you know, it seems like they'd get so tired of being locked into something, but at the same time, like, what's locking them in is feeding them a bunch of bullshit, and then they're gonna go listen to the bullshit concerts.
Well, that's
why
why Chuck D from NWA said that he doesn't believe that the kids are going to keep listening to the shit, because the reason that it's repetitive is because they have to be repetitive in order to shove bullshit down your fucking throat.
They just want to listen to something that's like going to make them happy for a couple days or a week, and then they'll have some other song.
That's also the science of music. Those people that are making that music, they understand about frequency and tone and key and fucking everything, how it affects your brain, and it releases certain endorphins, and so they know the formula. And if you're fucking playing the game and you're listening to bullshit, see, that's why I really love seeking out music where the lyrics are actually making a statement. They're actually saying something. Yeah. I mean, fuck chewing on bubble gum, fuck titties hanging out, fuck, driving fast cars and talking about your bling bling. I don't give a shit about all that shit. I don't give a shit about the girl that you just ended up not fucking anymore. I don't care about any of that shit. Well, I want to hear about real shit. I want to hear about, love, and I want to hear about unconditional forgiveness and positive things. I want to talk about how we can change, solutions instead of talking about the problems all the time. And I hate whiners too. People that just cry in their fucking songs. Psh, get the fuck over it. Let's do this thing. I'm
not one of those people that can tune out bad music. I've had people tell me before, it's just dance music. You can't just dance and have a good time. And I can't, because dancing for me is me giving a part of my energy to the music. And if I can't get down with the music, then I can't. I look like a fool dancing because I'm not even into it.
I walked into the Soul Bar about maybe a year ago. And, at one point, the Soul Bar was my fucking bar. But I walked in there, and the DJ was playing, oh, God, forgive me, Back Streets Back, all right. And I heard that. I had walked 5 feet into the fucking door. I heard that and turned the fuck around and walked out. Because I ain't never heard of no bullshit, bubblegum, fucking paint by numbers, formula bullcrap than the boy bands do. And, if you're actually going to fucking, and yeah, I'm sure, have fun. I'm saying have fun. Dance, but it's not for me. I can't stand that shit. It's like suffering fools. These days, I have a lot more patience for idiots, because I kind of have to, because people come up to me on random occasions, and sometimes they'll be idiots and sometimes they're not. So I just take my chances, and I'm nice to everybody, because that's the way you're supposed to be. But if you're an idiot, I can only be nice to you for so long before I literally have to turn away and walk away. Now, you might think that that's rude, but I'm actually saving you from, you hearing my real thoughts about your character and the type of person that you are at that particular moment in time. Not saying that you're that way all the time, but you're just being an idiot at that particular moment in time, and I don't suffer from that well. And basically what Caleb and I are saying is if it's not real music, we can't fucking listen to it.
We don't want it.
It's hurting our fucking heads, and we gotta go.
Get it out of here.
All right, well, we're gonna take a break, and we'll be right back for the last segment.